Have you ever wondered why our modern lives seem so restless, despite all the advancements around us? Why are peace and happiness often tied to external substances or fleeting distractions? Let's unravel this with a powerful insight shared by Sadhguru on the Joe Rogan Experience. Sadhguru points out a striking shift in humanity's perspective, the collapse of the concept of heaven. Decades ago, when people were asked if they wanted to go to heaven, most hands would rise. But today, that question often gets dismissed as absurd. Heaven, as a destination, has lost its grip on our minds. Why? Because heaven, once portrayed as the ultimate reward, no longer feels credible or relatable for many. Younger generations often view it as a myth or a control mechanism tied to outdated ideologies. This collapse, however, opens up an essential conversation. If there's no heavenly escape waiting for us, how do we create joy and fulfillment right here, right now? This is where the trouble begins. Without a belief in an external paradise, people turn to creating their own heaven, but through chemicals. From alcohol to drugs, the reliance on external substances to feel ecstatic is skyrocketing. Sadhguru calls this the mark of being a bad manager of one's own inner factory. Our bodies are the most sophisticated chemical factories on Earth. If you were a skilled CEO of your inner system, you could produce joy, peace, and even ecstasy naturally. But most of us are bad managers, outsourcing happiness to substances that often lead to addiction, health crises, and even societal decay. So, what's the way out? Sadhguru believes the collapse of heaven isn't a curse, but an opportunity to turn inward. Instead of chasing joy out there, he urges us to master what's within. Pleasantness of the mind, body, emotions, and energy is entirely in our hands. If your mind is peaceful, emotions loving, and energy vibrant, aren't you already in heaven? Heaven, he explains, is a state of being. The tools to access it, like conscious breathing, mindfulness, and yoga, are simple yet transformative. Sadhguru reminds us, don't get lost in philosophies. Use the tools. When your mind, body, and emotions align, bliss is natural. Even for those struggling with trauma or addiction, starting small can create profound change. For someone overwhelmed by life, even a single tool, a breathing practice, reducing a compulsion, or breaking an addiction, can be transformative. These are not miracles, they're manageable steps toward taking charge of your inner chemistry. Ultimately, Sadhguru challenges us to rethink what we're striving for. Heaven isn't some distant, divine promise, it's a potential waiting within you. The collapse of the old concept of heaven is a chance to awaken to the paradise we can create here on Earth. So, the next time you feel stuck or restless, ask yourself, are you ready to become the CEO of your own inner factory? The tools are there. It's time to use them and step into the heaven you've been searching for all along right here.